Hello and welcome to today's Transformation Manager blog. Today we'll be looking at creating procedures. So let's begin. As you can see from last time, we completed our aeroplane to aeroplane transform, and we were now looking at creating our turbine blade to engine transform as a dependent transform from the aeroplane. So as we see, we started off, we mapped the engine ID across to the ID. Our next step may be to map the engine name to the name. So again, that would be quite straightforward. What we might want to do is actually enhance that information we're putting in. And in this simple case, what we'll do is we'll just append some information. So the ampersand is used within Transformation Manager to append, and we may just want to append X, Y, Z. So that would give us our engine name in the database as the source engine name with a dash and then X, Y, Z. So we could do it like that and just append it, and every time we want to append X, Y, Z, then we have to type in that line. What we can also do as an alternative is actually create a procedure so that we can call that procedure time and time again and reuse that same piece of code to append, in this case, our X, Y, Z, rather than having to type it in all the time. Again, procedures can be used for far more than just appending a simple bit of text. They can be used for any calculations. They can be used if within your target, say that you've got common attributes you're always setting, such as created by and created date. So if you've got common fields in your elements, then you can populate those using a procedure rather than actually mapping them time and time again. But for today, let's have a look at how we're going to create a procedure to append our X, Y, Z. So to do that, what we do is we right click in the procedures at the bottom there. We can hit new procedure. We need to give it a name, so we'll give it a name called add text. Return type, we're going to return a string. We'll hit next. So here you can see you can actually use source models and target models within this and the elements there. In this case, it's going to be a very simple procedure that we're creating, so no source, no target. Procedure parameters, we're going to pass a parameter in, so we'll add that, and in this case we'll just call it input value, leave it as type string, hit next. There's no global variables going in, so we can hit finish, and here you can see now that we have a clean sheet to start our add text procedure. So in this case, what we're going to do is give ourselves a local variable. We could do it all in one really, but we'll add a variable in just for demonstration purposes. We'll call it return string. And then what we want to do is have our return string to be the input value. And here we want to add our X, Y, Z. And then we can simply return the return string. So there you go, you can see we're actually populating that into the return string variable, and then we're returning it out. In reality, we could do this in simply one line and just return input value ampersand dash XYZ. But now we've completed our procedure, we'll save that, Control S, and we'll click on the turbine blades to return us to our map. So now what we can do is, rather than calling that, we can delete that, Control space, type in add text. There we go, we can see the add text coming in. We can see we want a string. We're going to pass in that engine name, add the semicolon, and there we have it. So now, rather than appending that text all the time, we're using our add text procedure, which will always add that XYZ in this case to our engine name or to our string that we're passing in. and populate our name. So again, once we're happy with that, we can build it. We can right click, we can launch the migrator, we can click run, and again we can come back here, we can connect to our engine database, we can right click on the engine, we can view the data, and now we can see that we have our ID populated, we also have our name populated, and you can see that both names have -XYZ appended to the end of them. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you, bye bye.